It was a bright and sunny afternoon, with a touch of adventure lingering in the air. My parents had left me home alone, trusting me with the responsibility of taking care of the house. However, the freedom of being unsupervised sparked a mischievous idea in my mind, a thrilling joyride in my parents' car.as. I walked past the car parked in the driveway, the shiny exterior and the beckoning open road called out to me. I couldn't resist the temptation any longer. Excitement filled my veins as I fumbled for the spare key, my heart pounding with a mixture of thrill and trepidation. I hopped into the driver's seat, my hands gripping the steering wheel with a mix of anticipation and nerves. The familiar scent of the car engulfed me as I turned the key in the ignition. The engine roared to life, setting my heart racing even faster. This was it. I was about to embark on an exhilarating adventure. With a sense of liberation, I eased the car out of the driveway, trying to mimic the confident driving style of my parents. The cool breeze whipped through the open windows, brushing against my face as I merged into the traffic. The familiar streets took on a whole new dimension as I explored them from behind the wheel, my youthful spirit craving the thrill of the unknown.as. The minutes ticked by, my excitement grew, and I couldn't help but push the car's limits. The speedometer climbed steadily, adrenaline coursing through my veins. I reveled in the feeling of freedom, the wind rushing through my hair, and the sense of invincibility that came with the act of driving. However, in my youthful exuberance, I failed to pay enough attention to the road. A momentary distraction snatched away my focus, and I misjudged a sharp turn. Panic surged through me as the car careened off course, and before I knew it, I had collided with a lamppost. Time seemed to stand still as the screeching of tires and the shattering of glass echoed in my ears. My heart sank as I realized the magnitude of my mistake. The once pristine car now bore the visible scars of my recklessness. Guilt washed over me, and I knew I had to act swiftly to rectify the situation. Chapter 1 marked the beginning of a fateful journey, a journey that would test my character, resilience, and problem-solving abilities. Little did I know that the repercussions of my actions would unfold in the chapters that followed, ultimately leading me towards redemption and personal growth. The deafening silence that followed the crash seemed to amplify the weight of my mistake. The adrenaline that had fueled my joyride quickly dissipated, leaving me with a sinking feeling of dread and panic. I sat frozen in the driver's seat, staring at the damage I had caused. With trembling hands, I mustered the courage to step out of the car and face the harsh reality of the situation. The once imposing lamppost now leaned precariously, evidence of the force with which I had collided. The front bumper of my parents' car bore a deep dent, while the headlights lay shattered on the ground, like fragments of a broken dream. The guilt that enveloped me was suffocating. How could I have been so foolish? The fear of the consequences flooded my mind. How would I explain this to my parents? Would they ever be able to trust me again? Questions swirled in my head, each one more daunting than the last. As I surveyed the scene, a rush of panic compelled me to consider desperate measures. Thoughts of hiding the damage, pretending it never happened, or attempting amateurish repairs filled my mind. But deep down, I knew that those options were mere illusions, temporary solutions that would only delay the inevitable reality set in, and I realized that I had to take immediate action to resolve the mess I had created. I couldn't bear the thought of my parents discovering the damage and the subsequent disappointment they would feel. I had to find a way to fix this, and fast. Fueled by desperation and a sense of responsibility, I turned to my phone for guidance. Frantically typing into the search bar, I sought information on how to repair car damage quickly. DIY videos, forums, and articles popped up, but as I delved deeper, it became evident that the extent of the damage was far beyond my limited expertise. The realization that I couldn't fix the car on my own sent a wave of helplessness crashing over me. The weight of the situation threatened to engulf me, but a glimmer of hope emerged amidst the despair. In my search, I stumbled upon a local auto repair shop known for its efficiency and overnight services. With a renewed sense of purpose, I scribbled down the address, determined to seek professional help to salvage the situation. As I walked away from the damaged car, a mix of emotions washed over me: guilt, regret, and a glimmer of hope that the upcoming chapter would hold the solution to my predicament. It marked the turning point, where the consequences of my joyride became painfully clear. The damage I had caused forced me to confront the reality of my actions, pushing me to seek professional assistance. Little did I know that the decision to visit the auto repair shop would set in motion a series of events that would shape the narrative of my journey towards redemption. Stepping into the safety of my home, I took a deep breath, trying to calm the whirlwind of emotions inside me. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on my shoulders as I prepared to face the consequences of my reckless joyride. But before I could confront my parents, I needed to fully understand the extent of the damage I had caused. With a heavy heart, I made my way back outside, steeling myself for the sight of the car's injuries. As I approached, my footsteps slowed, each one filled with trepidation. The once pristine vehicle now wore visible scars, a dented front bumper and shattered headlights, a tangible testament to my momentary lapse in judgment. My gaze lingered on the damaged bumper, a twisted metal reminder of my reckless actions. The vibrant color of the car had dulled, tarnished by my carelessness. It was a painful sight, a constant reminder of the burden I had brought upon myself. I knelt down to inspect the shattered fragments of the headlights strewn across the pavement. The glass shards glimmered in the sunlight, mocking my naivety. The realization struck me that repairing this car would require more than just a quick fix. It would demand a significant investment of time, money, and effort. As I assessed the damage, my mind raced with potential scenarios. How much would the repairs cost? Would insurance cover any of it? These questions swirled in my head, adding to the mounting anxiety that gripped me. I knew that resolving this predicament overnight would be no easy task. Turning to the internet once again, I sought information on car repair costs and insurance coverage. With each search result, my heart sank a little deeper. The estimated expenses were beyond what I could afford, and the likelihood of insurance covering the repairs seemed slim. Doubt and self-blame crept into my thoughts. How could I have been so careless? Why did I succumb to the allure of the joyride, ignoring the potential consequences? These questions plagued my conscience, but I knew that wallowing in guilt wouldn't solve anything. With a newfound determination, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I would find a solution, a way to repair the car and make things right. The daunting task ahead of me loomed large, but I couldn't let despair consume me. I needed to gather the courage to face the next chapter head-on, armed with the knowledge of the damage and the resolve to find a solution. Chapter 3 marked a critical point in my journey, a moment of truth where I confronted the full extent of the damage I had caused. The dented bumper and shattered headlights served as tangible reminders of my mistakes, fueling my determination to find a way to resolve the situation. Little did I know that this newfound determination would guide me towards unexpected solutions and personal growth in the chapters that lay ahead. With the weight of the car's damage weighing heavily on my shoulders, I retreated back inside the safety of my home. It was time to devise a plan that would lead me to the solution I so desperately sought. I turned to the one tool that had become my ally and guide throughout this ordeal, the internet. Fingers trembling, I typed furiously, searching for any possible solutions to my predicament. The screen filled with search results, offering a myriad of suggestions, from DIY repairs to local auto repair shops. As I delved deeper into the digital realm, a glimmer of hope caught my eye. A small ad for an overnight auto repair shop located not too far from my house. Intrigued, I clicked on the ad, and a website filled with promises and testimonials appeared before me. The words on the screen spoke of efficient and speedy repairs, assuring customers that their vehicles would be restored to their former glory overnight. It seemed like the answer to my prayers. As skepticism waged war with hope inside me, I read through customer reviews and testimonials, seeking confirmation that this auto repair shop was indeed reliable. Positive comments and glowing reviews painted a picture of satisfied customers who had entrusted their damaged vehicles to the capable hands of the shop's mechanics. Encouraged by the positive feedback, I jotted down the address and contact information of the overnight auto repair shop. It was time to take a leap of faith and seek their professional assistance. While uncertainty still lingered, the glimmer of hope grew brighter within me, but there was one hurdle I had to overcome: the cost. Repairing the car overnight would undoubtedly come with a price tag. As I sat at the computer, my mind shifted gears to consider the financial aspect of the repairs. I started researching the average costs of car repairs, gathering information that would help me negotiate and make an informed decision. Armed with a rough estimate in my mind, I dialed the number of the overnight auto repair shop, nerves making my voice quiver. As the call connected, I explained my situation, the damage I had caused, and my desperate need for an immediate solution. The mechanic on the other end of the line listened patiently, offering reassurance that they could assist me. The conversation eventually shifted to the matter of finances. Aware of my limited budget, I hesitantly inquired about the cost of the overnight repairs. Negotiation became the name of the game as I sought a more affordable option. The mechanic understood my predicament and was willing to work with me, taking my financial limitations into account. After a back-and-forth discussion, we finally settled on a price that, while still significant, was within the realm of possibility for me. It meant tightening my belt and making sacrifices, but I was willing to do whatever it took to rectify my mistake. Chapter 4 marked a crucial step in my journey, a moment of research and exploration. Through extensive online searching, I discovered the overnight auto repair shop that held the potential to fix my parents' car. It also became a chapter of financial considerations and negotiations, as I sought to find a solution that was both efficient and affordable. With a plan in place, I braced myself for the upcoming chapter, ready to take the leap and entrust the repair work to capable hands. The anticipation bubbled within me as I approached the overnight auto repair shop, my parents' damaged car parked outside. The exterior of the shop exuded an air of professionalism and expertise, calming my nerves ever so slightly. This was the moment of truth. I would entrust the repair of the car to the capable hands of the mechanics within. Stepping through the doors, I was greeted by the sound of clanking tools and the smell of grease and motor oil. The shop buzzed with activity as mechanics moved with purpose, their experienced eyes scanning vehicles in need of repair. It was a comforting sight, a testament to the skills and knowledge that resided within these walls. I approached the service desk, where a friendly receptionist welcomed me with a warm smile. Nervously, I explained my situation, the details of the accident, and the extent of the damage. She listened attentively, offering words of reassurance and understanding. It was evident that they had dealt with similar situations before. The receptionist assured me that they would do their best to restore the car to its former glory overnight. She explained the repair process, the steps they would take, and the estimated timeline for completion. It was a delicate dance of precision and efficiency, a carefully choreographed symphony to mend the wounds inflicted upon the vehicle. In a gesture of trust, I handed over the keys to my parents' car, my heart skipping a beat as they clinked in the mechanic's hand. I watched as they disappeared into the workshop, the car vanishing from sight. It was a moment of relinquishing control, of putting my faith in the expertise of these professionals. With the car in their capable hands, I left the shop with a mix of relief and anxiety. The hours ahead would be filled with anticipation, waiting for the phone call that would signal the completion of the repairs. The weight of the situation still lingered, but a flicker of hope ignited within me. I had taken the necessary steps to make things right. As the sun began to set, I anxiously awaited the call that would bring news of the car's fate. The minutes stretched into hours, each passing moment amplifying my eagerness. Finally, just as the darkness enveloped the sky, the phone rang, jolting me from my restlessness. The mechanic's voice on the other end of the line conveyed a sense of pride and accomplishment. He explained that the repairs had been successfully completed, a testament to the skill and dedication of the team. My parents' car had been transformed, its wounds mended, and its former glory restored. With gratitude and relief flooding my veins, I rushed back to the auto repair shop. There it was, gleaming under the bright lights, a testament to the craftsmanship of those who had worked tirelessly to bring it back to life. The damaged bumper had been replaced, the shattered headlights now beamed with renewed brilliance. The receptionist handed me the keys, her smile mirroring my own. I expressed my heartfelt thanks to the mechanic and the entire team, grateful for their expertise and efficiency. The weight that had burdened me for days now lifted, replaced by a sense of accomplishment and relief. Chapter 5 marked a pivotal moment in my journey, a chapter of trust and collaboration. I entrusted the repair of the car to the skilled mechanics at the overnight auto repair shop, witnessing their expertise firsthand. The successful completion of the repairs brought a sense of relief and gratitude, propelling me towards the next chapter, where I would face the inevitable task of confessing to my parents. With the repaired car shining like a beacon of redemption, I knew it was time to confront the truth and face the consequences of my actions. The weight of guilt and apprehension settled heavily upon me as I made my way back home, the car's engine humming beneath me, a constant reminder of the journey I had undertaken. As I parked the car in the driveway, I took a moment to gather my thoughts, summoning the courage to confess to my parents. The door creaked open, and I stepped into the familiar embrace of home, the scent of comfort mingling with my unease. I found my parents in the living room, engrossed in a book. They looked up as I entered, their smiles fading as they noticed the somber expression on my face. I took a deep breath, and with a trembling voice, I began to recount the events of that fateful joyride, the thrill, the distraction, and the ensuing accident. Their faces registered a mix of shock, disappointment, and concern. They listened intently, their silence punctuating the weight of my words. I could see the emotions battling within them: anger, worry, and the pain of a trust broken. As I finished my confession, the room fell into a heavy silence. My heart raced, awaiting their response, unsure of what lay in store for me. But instead of an explosion of anger or a storm of reprimands, my parents exchanged a glance, a silent conversation that spoke volumes. They spoke softly, their words laced with a blend of disappointment and understanding. They acknowledged the gravity of my mistake, expressing their concern for my safety and the potential consequences of my actions. The lecture I had braced myself for never came. Instead, they focused on the importance of learning from mistakes and taking responsibility for one's actions. In that moment, I felt a mixture of relief and gratitude wash over me. My parents' willingness to see beyond the immediate disappointment and offer guidance instead of condemnation was a gift I hadn't anticipated. It was a reminder of their unwavering love and belief in my ability to grow from this experience. Together, we discussed the steps I had taken to rectify the situation, the research, the negotiation, and the repair. Their understanding of the effort I had put into making amends provided a glimmer of hope, a path towards rebuilding the trust that had been shaken. Though consequences were inevitable, my parents decided to focus on the lessons learned rather than dwelling solely on punishment. They emphasized the importance of responsible decision-making and the impact of our actions on ourselves and others. It was a conversation that resonated deeply within me, planting the seeds of maturity and wisdom. Chapter 6 marked a transformative moment, a chapter of confession, understanding, and forgiveness. I braved the task of confessing to my parents, and their unexpected response nurtured growth within me. Their willingness to guide and support me through this challenging experience laid the foundation for the chapters that would follow, a journey of personal growth and redemption. With the weight of my confession lifted and my parents' understanding, I embarked on a path of redemption and rebuilding trust. Chapter 7 marked a crucial turning point in my journey, a chapter where actions spoke louder than words, and I had the opportunity to demonstrate my commitment to growth and responsibility. Recognizing the importance of regaining their trust, I sought ways to make amends beyond the mere repairs to the car. I took on additional responsibilities around the house, offering to help with chores, running errands, and assisting my parents in any way I could. It was a tangible display of my dedication to making things right and rebuilding the bond that had been strained. As the days turned into weeks, I maintained open lines of communication with my parents. We engaged in heartfelt conversations, discussing the lessons learned from the incident and how it had impacted our family dynamic. These conversations allowed us to better understand each other's perspectives, fostering a deeper connection and a renewed sense of unity. To further demonstrate my commitment to responsibility, I took the initiative to enroll in defensive driving courses. These courses provided me with valuable knowledge and skills, reinforcing the importance of safe and responsible driving. It was an investment in my personal growth, and it reassured my parents that I was taking proactive steps to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. Alongside the defensive driving courses, I also sought opportunities to engage in community service related to road safety. I volunteered at local events aimed at educating drivers about the dangers of reckless driving, sharing my own experience as a cautionary tale. Through these endeavors, I not only contributed to the community but also solidified my understanding of the consequences of my actions. The rebuilding of trust was a gradual process, one that required consistency, honesty, and genuine remorse. I understood that it would take time to fully regain my parents' confidence, but I was determined to prove myself. Every day presented a new opportunity to demonstrate my growth and dedication to responsible behavior. As the chapter unfolded, I witnessed small but significant shifts in our family dynamics. There were moments of laughter, shared experiences, and a renewed sense of trust that began to blossom. The incident had left its mark, but it also served as a catalyst for growth and strengthening our bond. Chapter 7 was a chapter of rebuilding, a journey towards regaining trust through actions and ongoing communication. It was a testament to the resilience of relationships and the power of personal growth. Armed with newfound maturity and a deepened understanding of the consequences of my actions, I was ready to face the challenges that lay ahead in the subsequent chapters. It marked a pivotal stage in my journey of redemption, the chapter where I fully embraced the weight of responsibility and sought to make a positive impact beyond my immediate circle. It was a chapter of personal growth, empathy, and a commitment to being a responsible member of society. Motivated by the lessons I had learned, I felt a deep sense of obligation to prevent others from making the same mistakes I had made. I recognized that my experience could serve as a cautionary tale, and I sought avenues to share my story with a wider audience. I reached out to local schools and community organizations, offering to speak at assemblies and workshops focused on responsible driving. My aim was to create awareness among young drivers about the potential consequences of reckless behavior behind the wheel. By sharing my personal experience and the lessons I had learned, I hope to inspire others to make safer choices and think about the impact of their actions. Speaking in front of these audiences was both nerve-wracking and empowering. I shared the story of my joyride, the accident, and the aftermath, laying bare the mistakes I had made and the profound impact they had on my life and those around me. The rawness of my words resonated with the listeners, and I could sense the impact they were having. Beyond speaking engagements, I also became actively involved in campaigns and initiatives promoting road safety. I joined local organizations dedicated to raising awareness about responsible driving practices and participated in events aimed at educating the community. Together, we organized workshops, distributed informational materials, and held demonstrations to emphasize the importance of responsible behavior on the roads. It was a chapter of advocacy, a phase where I channeled my remorse into action. It was a humbling experience to witness the impact my words and actions had on others. By sharing my story and engaging in meaningful initiatives, I felt a sense of purpose in preventing others from making similar mistakes and promoting a safer driving culture. This chapter was not without its challenges. There were moments when memories of my own mistakes resurfaced, causing moments of doubt and self-reflection. However, those moments only served to strengthen my resolve and deepen my commitment to responsible behavior. As time passed, the impact of my efforts became evident. I received messages and emails from individuals who had heard my story and were inspired to change their own driving habits. Teachers and parents expressed gratitude for the awareness I had raised and the conversations my experiences had sparked among young drivers. Chapter 8 was a testament to the transformative power of taking responsibility and using personal experiences to make a positive impact. It allowed me to grow beyond my own mistakes and contribute to a larger cause. With each speaking engagement and community involvement, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and a deepening understanding of the importance of responsible behavior. As I moved forward into the subsequent chapters, I carried the lessons learned from embracing responsibility and the fulfillment that came from making a difference. The journey of redemption continued, and with each step, I became more